Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Welcome to 40 Something Podcast.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
It's a little childish and stupid, but then so is high school.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Be excellent to each other.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
Get to the chopper!
There's something very important I forgot to tell you. Don't cross the street.
All right, important safety tip. Thanks, Egan.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
There can be only one.
And now your hosts, Trevor Schaefer and Jerry Mullen.
Hello, and welcome to episode 24. 24 already of something, what? No, 40-something podcast.
40-something, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we got two numbers in it. When you're over 40, more than two things is difficult.
Seriously, and wow. I think it's the heat getting to us.
Yeah.
At least down here. You know what? I have to say, before the show when we were talking and we were looking behind, you have an air conditioner in your house before I do this year. I don't have a single air conditioner.
Whoa, stop.
Okay.
For reference.
Okay.
That's always in.
Oh, okay.
I just wrap it up.
So you've got a completely different angle this week. So it's like I'm actually seeing that.
That's what I say. I'm not out in the front room because I have all this furniture out in the front room that I can't really, that I have to put together that I don't want to.
Oh no, it's not IKEA, is it?
No, I got from my previous place of employment. I got this as a gift, but it's
gift.
No, it was an actual gift.
Oh, okay.
But it's a 5-piece dining set thing that for outdoors, and then there's a full patio set as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got my front porch all painted and cleaned up, and and all that, and we're gonna try to put that together this weekend. And Kelly thinks it was going to take like an hour or two. When I told her it took my brother-in-law, who's one of the handiest people I know, 8 hours to put both sets together. So, I said, yeah, we'll be working on this over
the trick to putting that shit together is use your own tools. When they give you those little freaking Allen wrenches that you have no torque on, and they strip halfway through, and
I got plenty of Allen keys, so
bring your own tools.
Yeah. Like when we were putting together, this is a long time ago. This is when you could buy a computer with a zip disk drive. That's how far back this goes.
Zip disks. Just for the nostalgia, that sound, that click.
Yeah. I have a PC that has an internal one.
I have two internal ones still. I have an IDE and a SCSI. Years ago, I hooked it up to an old Pentium 2 and transferred all the data off all my zip disks.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any disks, but I do have access to one. I have that old Gateway that was my brother's that the power supply died on. So I just got to, do the diligence on it. But I just, it's one of those things I never get around to,
Somewhere I had a parallel port one, an actual external, but God knows where that went. That's lost to the ages.
They're garbage anyway.
The
internals were. The SCSI one is the one you want.
And I actually wanted to hook that up because I actually have a SCSI card. I could not find my SCSI cable, my internal SCSI cable. And I went online, and they wanted $15 for a SCSI cable. And I'm like, no, we'll just hook up the IDE.
Speaking of getting ripped off, I was at one of the towns in the local area had their citywide yard sales last weekend on Saturday. So I went over, and I have another part of the story that's going to be great. It was in Atticoke, and so I walking around the whole town has got everybody and their moms out. So you're either driving around hitting blocks, or right in the center in Atticoke in that Patriot Square, they had tons of people there. So that made it easy. First off, there was a guy selling Funko Pops. He had two tables full, and then up the back wall of the building. I'm talking like tall as me. This shit was. He wanted $15 a piece.
Holy
for
shit!
I know. And don't be wrong. Some of them were like, I'm sure rare ones, and I say rare.
Yeah.
So I just, I moved right along from that guy. So down the road from him anyway.
And I love Funko Pops. I mean, I got them all over the place, but I refuse to pay over $9 a pop for them, even if they're rare. I'll wait. I'll get them off of eBay or something.
Yeah, I have a couple, all the ones I wanted. I have the Green Arrow and Hawkeye and a couple other ones. I don't have many. I have Doctor Who's. I always thought that was funny. So anyways, the guy down the road from me, you could tell this guy bought a lot, not a lot, of pallets of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think he picked this up somewhere. So I'm walking by and he's got this box and there's like an Xbox One S and a controller and like a handful of games. Inside is one of those Switch, cradles for the control for the Joy-Cons.
Oh, yeah.
The one you can hold and make it a controller. I'm like, well, how much for this? He pulls out this sheet. And it's like 50 pages.
Oh,
I knew automatically I should have walked away.
Yeah, you walk away.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt at that point. So he goes, that's going to be $20. I said, you can keep it. Then I walked up to Electronics Boutique the other day. My daughter had to get a gift card for a friend for.
Wait, where's your time machine?
I'm sorry, GameStop.
Damn, I'm like, holy shit! You figured out how to go back in time.
It always will be. It's the same fucking company. So I went to GameStop, by the way. GameStop, and they had a brand new one in, obviously brand new in box.
Yeah.
$9.
Yeah.
Now, I was done looking for one. It was great because with the three of us played Smash. We all had controllers today. It was great.
Well, my wife mentioned to me, she follows, it's a YouTube channel called Curiosity Inc. And so is the guy's antique store. And he does a lot of kind of picking and buys a lot of estate sales. And he doesn't post a lot of things online, but what he does is he'll put pictures up on Instagram. That's how he sells a lot of stuff online. That way he doesn't have to pay eBay. He doesn't have to pay, for a web store or anything, which is actually the smart way to go. You just PayPal him the money. And she goes, $99 for 10 Atari games in box. Is that a good deal? And I said, well, depends on the games. So she names the games, and they're all common games.
Yeah.
And I said, no. I said, that's not good. Some of them are a little rare, I said, but, if they're all sealed, then, she goes, oh, my God, these aren't sealed. The boxes are beat up. They're ripped. I'm like, oh, my God, no. They're like $4 a piece if you're lucky.
$5 if it's sealed.
Yeah, boxed Atari games are not rare. Sealed Atari games, they're getting a little more rare, but boxed Atari games,
loose Atari games, nickel.
Yeah. Whoa, earthquake.
Whoa, I put my foot on the table here and it went. So sorry about that.
So what's the other half of your story? I didn't mean to interrupt that, but I wanted to shoehorn
So we go to the Burger King and they had a Coke.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all I got to say.
That is the most convoluted parking lot / drive-through setup I have ever seen in my life.
So we go in, because it's me and the kids and my mother. My mother bought more stuff at the yard sales than I did, which I found unbelievable later on. So we sit, we go in and order, and I got there was a king box. It's a Whopper, and it's a drink, and some fries or onion rings or whatever, and it's $6.
Heart attack.
Then I get cheese. Whatever, okay? I don't eat that shit that often, but I was hungry and I had to go back to cutting grass. So I get chicken fingers for Kate and this, that, and for my mom and all like that. Get my order. I say to the lady, now I was clear. My meal came with fries. I need an additional small fry. I need an additional onion ring. I get 2 medium fries.
Yeah.
And a small fry. I said, can we look at my receipt here? It was so disorganized in there, and I don't know why. And it's not like there were a lot of people in there. I'm not burning the place, but I am.
No, it's the same thing. I took the kids to McDonald's. They had a half day, so I had some errands to run. So by the time I got done running the errands, it was 1:45, and half day the kids eat lunch early. So they were hungry. I hadn't eaten lunch, so we stopped at McDonald's. They wanted chicken nugget Happy Meals, and they always get sweet and sour sauce. Get home, they both had barbecue sauce.
Yes.
And it's I understand, okay, it's busy, but these are the people who are striking and want $15 an hour.
Yeah.
And at least if you go to the one in Hanover, by me, not only does it take forever to get your food, but when you pull up to the window to get your food, there's always at least 3 people standing around doing nothing. They're on their phones, they're talking, and it's hello?
Yes. I don't understand. Don't get me wrong, okay? I will never burn anybody who works in the food industry.
I will never burn anybody who has a legitimate job.
Yeah, that's even better answer.
Yeah.
That's even better. But if you're especially wait staff, I'm always nice to them. Even if they colossally jobber my order, I'll be like, I understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this one lady, I went to Olive Garden years ago. Me and Kelly went there for an anniversary dinner. And it was, of course, you know how it is when you're over 40. Your anniversary dinner could be a month after your actual anniversary.
Extremely, yes.
Yeah. So we sit down at the thing, and the lady comes to me, and she says, you know, it was like the all-you-can-eat pasta thing that they have every couple of years or every couple of months or whatever. I said, yeah, I'd like that. And she goes, well, would you like to try the hot Italian sausage? I'm like, yeah, okay. I said, that sounds pretty good. You know, I'll give that a try. Didn't like it. You know, I wanted to try it, though.
Yeah.
Lady goes, I'll take that off your bill. She goes, you barely even touched it. Oh, great. Same lady comes along with a tray full of empty beer bottles and plates and dumps it down the front of me. I'm talking Trev. I mean, the plates were cleaned off, essentially.
Yeah.
You know? All the shit was all over my pants. So the manager comes out, and he starts chewing on it. I said, what? I look at the manager. I said, stop, okay? It was an accident. I'm not upset about it. I said, I just want to finish my meal, maybe go home and change my pants. And, you know, I was trying to be nice to this lady's getting chewed out for doing her job, you know. So I got a free meal there, which I expected.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was a good one. But you got to treat wait staff nice, food personnel, you know what I mean? Anything, even if they're at a shitty McDonald's, you know, that you know you're going to get boned on, you got to treat them nice, you know. Yeah. They're just doing their job. And they're getting paid. You know what I mean? Like some people are jobbers, and I can't stand that.
And I've been to plenty of places where, I mean, we've all been where they're short-staffed and everyone's crazy. But consistently when you pull up to the McDonald's and there's 3 people standing around doing nothing and your order is still wrong, that's where I'm like, okay, there's something broken here.
Yeah. You know, and it's like every job I've ever had, which I've had quite a few jobs, but I had one consistently for a long time. You can't be on your phone while you're working.
No.
That's a new thing in the modern day. You know what I mean? Like kids are always on their phones. Like go to any local ice cream joint. You know, the mom and pops one.
Yeah.
Not a big what do you see? People in the back.
Yep.
On their phone. Whatever. As long that's a place I don't really, you know what I mean? I don't go too often because ice cream and I don't agree anymore. But wow, we didn't even have a topic and we got way off.
Hey, we're getting better.
Yeah, we are. We are getting better. Thanks, Kate. So probably your sister. Because your mother's outside with the dog. So anyway, another over 40 moment brought to you in part by children. So, oh, you know what? We've been doing picks of the week for YouTube, and I forgot to pick one. So
well, I got a pick of the week, and it's on YouTube. So.
Oh, it's a single video again?
It's a single video again. And don't say anything because I guarantee you're going to know what it is. So
I'm gonna back off.
Okay.
I'm gonna back off. I am looking. This is what I was gonna use this week. Okay. And he better not have a cover video. Okay, good. I hate when you go to a YouTube page and they have like a fucking welcome to my page video.
Oh, the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, trailer for your channel. I don't fucking need that. Okay.
So
hey, LGR Thrifts. LGR Thrifts today.
I saw that. I was kind of disappointed, but he even said it's getting harder. And I will admit, even I stopped going to the Goodwills and Salvation Armies every couple days just because I don't have the time this time of year to do that. But I actually went down to my local Goodwill, which is always my go-to. I always find something there, and there was absolute crap. So I was really disappointed. No games, no DVDs, nothing.
Yeah. I hit the 2 Salvation Armies, the one by you, the one by me.
Yeah.
And then I don't go to Goodwills though. I never had anything good happen to me there. So. And
I've never had any Goodwills except for the one right down by me. I've picked up controllers there. I still kick myself for not buying that PS2 Fat that was there. Got Jess her industrial sewing machine for $10. I mean, sounds like someone was coming to my office. I picked up PlayStation controllers for $2 a piece, a hard drive for $2. I mean, I've made out decently there, but the place I made out the best, honestly, and it's a bit of a drive, but up in Scranton, there's a big Salvation Army, and they had probably the most electronics I have ever seen in a Salvation Army before.
In Scranton?
In Scranton.
Oh.
It's right off. It's right off the exit. It's the exit right before the Scranton Expressway. It's a right-hand exit. Literally, you get off the exit, and the Salvation Army is right in front of you.
So it's not that long of a drive.
No, it's an easy on, easy off type of thing. That Jess and I went thrifting the one day. We didn't have the kids, and we went all the way up from here all the way up to the old Sugarman's up in Einan. And we hit every Goodwill, every Salvation Army, and that was the place we made out the best.
Maybe I'll have to check that joint out. I never heard of that.
You never heard of the Einan and Sugarman's? Oh, it used to be great. The last time we went, a lot of our favorite vendors closed down. It's an indoor flea market where everyone has their own booth. Mm-hmm. And you will find the weirdest shit. The best ones there's 2 of them that is just literally tools, car parts, miscellaneous stuff. And it's just a long corridor, probably maybe 200 feet. And there's just enough room. There's 3 different tables, 2 against the wall, 1 in the middle. And there's just enough room to get by each table. And each table stacked probably about a foot and a half high of just boxes of shit. But if you take the time to go through it, I mean, we found a World War II first aid kit that was sealed the one day.
Damn.
The guy wanted $35, to which I said, okay, we'll put that back in the box. But
yeah.
I mean, if you're willing to look, but they used to have a toy vendor there I bought many vintage Transformers off of him. He's gone. There was a great video game vendor. He's gone. So a lot of the places.
So it's not worth the drive right now.
Unless they come back. Last time we were there, this was right in the beginning of the spring. We went. And the only thing is, it's only open on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, yeah, like the garden.
Yeah.
The garden's only open on Sunday,
Yeah.
you know. I like the garden. I like going there.
Because I did the ultimate technology thing. Because we didn't know if we were going to go up to the Sugarman's. So we finally go up there in the parking lot. We were supposed to pick up the kids in an hour and a half. And I'm like, okay, we just got here. There's no way that's happening. So I called my mom and I said, hey, make a deal. You watch the kids for a couple more hours. I'll buy you dinner. She's like, okay, how are you going to do that? I said, you want pizza? She goes, sure. I said, okay, what do you want on the pizzas? Well, I'll take this and this. I'll say, oh, when do you want it? Well, how about like 4 o'clock? Okay. Hung up, went right on my phone, Domino's app, ordered 2 pizzas, set the time for delivery, added the tip onto it. Boom. They got fed dinner at 4 o'clock.
Thank God for technology.
And we were in there shopping already. And I called my mom and she even said, I called her. I said, you got the pizzas on time? She goes, oh yeah. She goes, I went to tip the guy. And the guy's like, no, your son took care of it already. It's like, damn right.
Ching.
I love technology for that.
Yeah.
And you can always bribe babysitters with food. That's nice.
I find money works a little better, but if you don't have that ready available, food does work.
Well, I only have one person to babysit for me, so.
Well, yeah,
that's
I know.
my mother.
My mom and my mother-in-law. I just have to call them and say, "Hey, Sin, you got an hour," So, and my aunt is right up the road, and she's getting ready to retire. She told me, she goes, "If you need me, I got nothing else to do," So.
Hell, if you could schedule it right, you could have the kids gone like 4 nights a week during the summer.
Yeah, but this is what I don't do is I don't unnecessarily give them the kids.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's not like I just, how about you go play with Nana today or my mom or whatever. If they ask me and I ask the babysitter, whoever it is, and they, can we go over to my mom's? Can we go over? They'll want to be at my mom's most of the summer because they have a pool there.
Mm-hmm.
So. In all truthfulness, I'll be there a lot. You know what I mean? When I got to work or whatever, I hit the pool for an hour. It's nice. It's a nice way to end your day. You know what I mean? Swim for an hour and then go to bed. I'm at that age.
I find a stiff drink is just as refreshing.
Nah, I like doing the pool, a hot shower, crawl into bed.
There you go.
Just works for me. Just works for me. So.
So you want to feel old?
Go ahead.
So in the past week and a half since our last episode, well, 2 weeks from the episode, but these anniversaries happened in the past week and a half. The 20th anniversary of the release of Star Wars Episode 1 happened. Yes.
Wow.
And yesterday was the 25th anniversary of the last episode of Star Trek The Next Generation airing.
Yeah, both are definitely make me feel old.
And then I
saw Next Generation more, though.
And then I saw something online that this year is the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters 2.
Wow.
And 35 years for the original Ghostbusters, which also just is like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was too much in like one little week and a half period.
Yeah.
It was like,
that was a good week to go to the movies.
You just keep hitting me like, you make me feel old every day.
Yeah, that was a good week. Man, I remember seeing Ghostbusters 2 with Chris, and we had to sit in the front row.
Oh, the neck killers.
The neck breakers. But it was the only seats we could get, and we really wanted to see it because it was like, at the time, it was cool when your parents didn't go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, now if my mom wants to go to movies with me, I'm like, yeah, come on. But then it was like, wow,
And I remember seeing episode 1 opening day.
I saw it opening day, the first showing in the morning.
It was, well, you remember my ex. It was probably the first showing. I don't remember.
Well, we saw it. I remember. I could definitely remember this story because Paul Gensileski, who was a guy we went to school with, him and I were working the same third shift job at this. We were working together actually, and we before we even started work, he goes to me. He goes, "Hey, you want to go see episode 1 with me in the morning?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "That sounds pretty good." So we I didn't have a car at the time. I was riding with him. So we went right up there, and it was inside the mall.
Oh.
That's how, yeah, you know what I mean? Inside the mall. So we were waiting there. It was me, him, Dave, and Alan.
Oh, there's a crew.
Yeah, it was an interesting combination of people. And we sat down and watched that, and it was a good time. You know what I mean? It really was. But that movie's okay at best.
I think I saw it 4 times in a theater because my ex was a crazy person. She had to go see it at every theater she could find to see what had the better picture and sound. Don't ask me why. But every time...
Because you're like that? But
well, every time we saw it, I hoped it'd get a little better, and it never did.
Nope.
And I swear to God, probably by the 3rd showing, I think I fell asleep during the hour-and-a-half pod race.
Mm-hmm. That spawned a video game. That was subpar at best anyway.
No, that video game was awesome.
No.
Nah,
I'm not a racing guy anyway.
Revisit it. You got to revisit it. It holds up.
What was that on? The Dreamcast?
Dreamcast, and there was an N64 version, but the Dreamcast was the best.
I'll pull the
one.
N64 version out.
And there was an arcade version.
I'll see if I can get that.
I saw that once. I didn't get a chance to play it, but it was set up just like a pod racer with the 2 handles and everything.
That's when environmental cabinets were nice.
Yes. The best one ever was still Afterburner.
Oh, I don't know. Tron was pretty good, too.
I never played a Tron.
A Tron environmental one.
Yeah.
You sat down and you had that controller, and it was a closed booth. It actually had curtains.
Oh, like the Jurassic Park ones and everything.
It had that, but this was in the 80s. You know? And it was a closed curtain. It had that neon lighting in it from Tron, because everything was fucking neon in Tron, But that was really good. That was the best environmental cabinet I ever sat in. Afterburner is good, though, because it moves.
It moves in only 2 different axes, not 3. Yeah. Forward and back, left to right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if I ever had a chance to buy one of them, it'd be really hard to turn down.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what I mean? Except for the fact that I have nowhere to put it, and I'd have to replace people and/or furniture.
Get rid of one of your recliners, because I could double as a recliner.
Yeah, it could. You're right. I'll just take the cushions off the recliner and put it on the Afterburner.
There you go.
I'm thinking ahead here.
See?
Thinking ahead here. So we're still on the topic of movies.
Yeah.
There's this line of Harrison Ford gave. Let me get back to this because I want to read it exactly. Where'd it go? Here it is right here. Thank God for Google history. Harrison Ford on who should replace him in Indiana Jones, and he sternly says, nobody.
I will agree with that.
Oh, I agree with him. Nobody should play Indy. I'm sorry. Only he can. So if he's not going to do it anymore, no more Indiana Jones films.
Yes.
I don't want to see Indiana Jones Jr., whatever.
I just wish we didn't have the last Indiana Jones film.
We don't talk about it. You know that.
I know.
We do not talk about
I know.
King Crystal Skull. We have differing opinions about it.
We do.
I like that film. Stop. We're gonna stop that because
okay.
It'll turn into fucking arguments and shit. Anybody who's watched this show has watched Growing Up Geek before this knows we've had full-fledged fucking fights about this film.
We have.
So let's move on.
Let's move on to the Ouya.
Ouya died.
The little console that no one knew was still around.
Yeah, I thought that thing died. I knew it got absorbed by Razer a couple years ago.
And I didn't even know that because the Ars Technica article I read about it, they even said at some point they got sold to Razer, which nobody knew about. Even they said it.
That I read about because the one guy I follow on YouTube or whatever, it's not Spawnwave, it's another one that's like kind of newsy, said that they got absorbed in by Razer a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Which, whatever. But you have to think about it. Ouya was the largest, like, what is that, Patreon or Kickstarter for a long time.
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah. And it was just for the, that little box. Don't get me wrong. I want one. I've always wanted one of them just to dick around with it. You know what I mean? Because I always thought it would be like, that would be perfect if you could take it. That's a thing you could take with you if you're going on trips.
Yeah.
Like a Raspberry Pi before Raspberry Pi.
And they said it's pretty decent for basic emulation.
Yeah. I was saying just from your Atari 2600 up to the Super Nintendo, that would be a perfect window.
Oh, excuse me. But what is actually better these days is, according to ETA Prime, is the Amazon Fire Stick 4K. That could actually do Dreamcast, apparently. And
how much are they?
$60, I think. I know the regular stick used to be 40, and I think the 4K they upped it to like 60. I think 60 or 70.
50. Here we
50?
go.
Oh, there you go. Even better. But he has a whole series about how to put emulators on the 4K stick because it's got like the processor and RAM is apparently better than the Raspberry Pi.
Oh, I'm thinking, Jared's thinking about one of these now. No, but I'm just thinking, like there's and they have a cube one too. Did you know that? I never knew that.
Yeah, the Fire TV.
Yeah. Anyway, but I'm always looking for something that, like, you go somewhere with the family. Stay someplace overnight.
Why would you do that?
Why? With the family?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're all right.
There's enough togetherness at home.
I know. But I'm saying, you look for a portable. Yeah, a portable thing.
Yeah.
You can only do so much on your phone. I personally believe.
I mean, honestly, when we travel, we take a Fire Stick with us. We actually have one already pre-packed that it's in our. I call it my travel bag. It's got chargers for everything. It's got 3 iPhone chargers. I think 3 micro USB chargers for the kids' tablets. It's got extra power bricks, and it's got a Fire Stick in there. Because wherever we go, as soon as you get to the hotel room, I look for that HDMI port, plug it in, hook it up to either my phone's hotspot or the hotel Wi-Fi, and the kids get their Netflix, their Hulu, their YouTube, and they're happy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but if this thing could play gaming, you wouldn't even need that. But what kind of controllers? I guess they're Bluetooth.
They're Bluetooth, yeah.
Yeah. That would be fucking awesome.
Although he said the best set-top box you can get for emulation is the Shield TV, which those are pricey.
Yeah.
Those go for like, I think, $175 to $200, the 4K ones. But apparently they've got a pretty beefy processor in there and graphics.
I didn't even know they were still making this Shield.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, NVIDIA still makes that.
NVIDIA Shield 4K. What are they going for these days? Let's see. For gaming edition. Oh, no. They're $189.
Well, the gaming edition comes with a controller. You can use any controller.
Oh, then hold on. Yeah, we don't want the gaming edition.
Yeah.
Hold on. What's this? Streaming media player for GeForce Now. What's that? Oh, that's another $10, apparently. So that's exactly what that fucker is.
Which after you texted me and said you wouldn't mind a Ouya, I looked on eBay and they're going for about $55 on eBay. So
I'd love to see one in the wild.
Never seen one in the wild.
No, you know what? A guy I work with had one of these. He was gonna sell it, and then I stopped working there. So, so I don't know whatever happened. I should message him and see if he's.
And I'm surprised for all the years I worked at Best Buy, we never started. We never carried them there.
No, I don't know if the stores actually carried them, or was that a
store will carry anything.
I know that, but did they do that kind of packaging?
I don't know, because Oculus you can never buy in a store. Then we started carrying Oculus. So
they're still selling them on the Ouya website for $100.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. Notice this website would be shutting down on June 25th, 2019. Let's see. Oh, they have a thing for if you're looking for jobs. I don't think that's really going to help you guys out. But
yeah, probably not.
Come on. Oh yeah, you know what? You can't even. Oh, here it is. The shop. Hold on. Can you still buy them? No, the shop's gone now too. That's it.
Whatever's in the wild is there.
Yeah, it's over for the Ouya.
But a year or two from now, someone's going to find a pallet somewhere of shrink-wrapped Ouyas, and they're going to go for like $200 a piece. And
yeah, $50 for one. I don't know. Would it be bad? I don't know.
To me, it's easier to just take a Raspberry Pi with you.
I gotcha. I guess I have to sit down and redo mine, I guess. It's
I tried
projects I said I'd do, but
I was actually redoing mine last night because to get nerdy on you guys, mine's still running on Raspberry and Jesse, and they're no longer updating for Jesse. They're only updating for Stretch. So I said, okay, I'll just do a fresh install. And last night I spent almost 3 hours trying to work out an audio issue that I never had with the old RetroPie, but with the new RetroPie, they added an extra setting in there, and I couldn't get the sound to work. I got it in the game, but it was very low, nothing in the menu system, no nothing. And finally this morning I came back down here, and I just pretty much took out the card and reflashed my backup image of my RetroPie, and that's what I was actually playing right before you called.
Oh, there you go.
I was
thinking about putting that beta. Oh, that's something I didn't even think of. I have that Beta Sarah flash drive, but I would need a computer for that.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well.
Now, here's a good question. So I know you don't like the Game Chasers, and that's perfectly acceptable.
I don't not like them.
Oh, okay. So Billy from the Game Chasers put out a video about retro books, and he was going through. They're basically like art books and stuff like that. But he brought up a good question, and it's a question that I was thinking about because I was playing a game right before you called. What is one of your favorite retro games of all time that you've never beaten?
Oh.
See, I know my answer.
How far back are we going here?
As far as you want to go back.
Oh.
See, for me, it's Batman for the original NES. I love that game. I will play that game all the time. I have yet to beat the Joker. And I've watched speed runs where assholes will do it in 7 minutes.
Yeah,
and I'm like, fucking A, you know?
I hate those guys. To a point, I hate those guys.
I've been playing this game for 30 fucking years and I can't do this shit, you know?
About a retro game that I never...
Oh, there's another anniversary. 30th anniversary of the Tim Burton Batman. Because that was showing the morning my wife and I went to go see Endgame. That's the reason I remember that. They were doing a special 30th anniversary showing of that. But yeah, it's a good question because I mean we've played thousands of video games in our life. And what is your favorite video game that you've never beaten?
Wow.
And
that's a hard question.
It's like an existential question of who you really are. Like what game will you constantly go back to play and play to try to beat it, and you've never beaten it just like for punishment.
It's our every 2 week video.
Oh, hello. Oh, look at your pretty hair.
Oh, very nice.
Are you going to bed? Yeah. Okay. Can I get a hug?
And or a kiss?
I love you.
That is the sweetest thing. It really is. Your door is open, though.
No, that's closed now.
Okay, copy that. Yeah, I have to really I might have to get back to you in 2 weeks on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I have to really think about it because there's so many from like system. Yeah.
Because I forget what game he mentioned, but it was an NES game that he goes, he absolutely loves it, but the only way he's ever been able to beat it is on a Game Genie. And his goal is one day to beat it without a Game Genie, to actually really beat it.
You see, I can think of a lot of games that I love to pick up from the NES, like, obviously Zelda and the staples, of course. I really like, there's a game called Crystalis on the NES. I love that game. I've beaten it. Every time I play it, I beat it. And it's an RPG, it's a action RPG. If that makes anything, you know what I mean? It's like Zelda, but you gain levels and shit. I can play that all the time.
But what game do you?
It's got some odd churchy moments, which you wouldn't believe on an NES game. So,
but it's a good question. What game do you love that you've never beaten?
Man, that's very difficult. Wow.
Yeah.
I have to hold on. I gotta pull up a list of NES games.
And it doesn't have to be NES. It could be Super Nintendo, N64. I mean, it could be any of them.
Fuck, I gotta look this up.
Hell, right now they're considering PS3 retro, which is fucking boggling my mind. I know. It's like, no, it should be. I thought the rule of thumb was 2 generations, but now apparently it's 10 years is what they're saying is retro.
Well, that's consoles are going longer than they used to.
Exactly. Too. It's like, I always went 2 generations. Like the day I heard the GameCube was retro really hurt, but when people are talking the PS3 is now retro, I'm like, no.
I really want to buy that GameCube HDMI cable. I don't know why it's set up. I really want that thing.
I was looking at a Dreamcast HDMI cable.
Is that the serial port one? No, that's the serial mod.
That's the serial mod. No, this one, it's actually a generic. It's $35 on Amazon. But the one that they normally sell, I think it's by a company called Pound, which is cheaper. It does not work with the Elgato HD, which is how I run all my systems through the TV to get the HDMI output to the TV that you're currently on, and so I can record. But this HDMI cable for the Dreamcast is Elgato compatible. But I just don't feel like spending the $35 when I could still hook up
I
component
found it.
cables. What'd you okay.
I got it.
What game do you constantly go back to that you love that you've never beaten?
It is Double Dragon 3, The Sacred Stones. I've never beat that game.
There you go. That's a good one.
Personally, I've never beat it. I've gotten all the way to the end of the final boss. I've watched speed runs over the years of the entire thing. Never beat it. I'm going to tell you one time, this was New Year's that just passed.
Yeah.
Me and my brother said, we're doing it this year. And we're hopped up on alcohol. We're doing it this year. And we get all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And we're down. You can have 4 characters in that game, so 2 apiece, whatever. And my brother tanks a jump. And dies, right? So now we got 1 character each left, right? I make the jump. He tanks the jump again, right? I told him, I said, I'm not doing this by myself, and I fall off. I said, we're shutting it down. There was a couple times where me and John tried to do that game with a Game Genie and still couldn't do it. That's how hard that game is.
I could probably say, no, I can't say. I could probably say the Double Dragon for the NES. It's actually the first game I ever bought with my own money, and I never beat it. But honestly, after 20-some years, I gave up on it. And about 2 years ago, using OpenEMU, I went on to the arcade version with unlimited quarters, and I finally beat the arcade version.
Well, yeah, you're going to beat it if you're not paying for it.
Exactly. But, I mean, the actual NES version, I've never beaten. In fact, I think I've made it to mission 5.
4. 4 is the last one. Hey, babe.
Yeah, it's the beginning of mission 4. It's where you go to that temple.
Yeah, that's mission 4.
That's as far as I've gotten. And then I run out of guys, and that's it. I'm done.
You run out of patience.
Well, no, I run out of guys. I mean, there is no continuing or anything in that game. It's You get your lives and game over. You getting a striptease this week?
No, not this week. Not yet, anyway. She's looking for her coffee, which I can't help her find because I'm sitting. So,
can't she sniff it out?
But if you really want to answer this question correctly, you'd have to pick it by. I'd have to pick it by console.
Really?
I really would have to because, I know for sure Double Dragon's that one. But if I went to SNES. Because I have defeated a lot of SNES games in my day. And there's only a few that I actually own now because, there's that game. Wait a minute. Hold on.
And I never owned an SNES, and we had this conversation years ago back on Down Forward Punch, is if you play a single-player game co-op and you beat it, does it still count as you beating it even though you didn't play the whole game? And we agreed, yes, it does still count.
Yeah.
So
I think at this point, unless you're at this point in my life, and it's really held true when we were kids too, is that if you didn't use a Game Genie and
Yeah.
you got to the end of the game, it's a victory.
Because Greg and I used to play tons of SNES games, but we would always, you take a board, I take a board, or you play to your board and I'll play. And that's how we beat tons of games. And but I can't say for sure. I've probably beaten on my own maybe 5 or 6 SNES games. The rest of them are all co-op. I never owned it, so most of it's been through emulation.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
The only one I could tell you 100% that I beat start to finish with an actual full-fledged vintage unit was Pilot Wings.
Oh, that game's great.
Which I love that game. And I totally forgot the last board where you're firing the Apache helicopter until it was on a video I watched last week. I'm like, holy shit, I forgot about that last board. That was awesome.
Oh, Jesus, man. Super Nintendo could take a lifetime for me to remember. All right, anyway, so I could do this all day.
I blew your mind with that question.
Yes, you did.
And I didn't want to tell you that beforehand because I wanted your reaction to see if you knew something.
That's a hard one. That's a very hard one because that's what she said. And that's how old I am.
Are we still doing that? Are we still doing that?
Yes, we are. I still do this game.
Wow.
I still do that with people. We were doing that at work. Anyway, another thing that came up, let's talk about why we're still on gaming and old and retro. They announced 10 more games for the Sega Genesis Mini.
Yes.
Yeah.
Already 10 times better than the PlayStation Mini.
I watched part of the CU podcast this week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. You know what? For some reason, I felt like, because one of them was talking about, I think this week they were talking about Pro Jared, and I wanted to hear Pat's take on it.
Oh, no, that was last week's.
Oh, was it? Yeah. I don't know. But the clip came up, and they started talking about the Sega Genesis Mini. And I don't want to buy one of them, but it's starting to look really good.
I will agree with you. All those minis I've had a problem with buying just because of emulation, that there's no reason for me personally to buy one. But anybody who doesn't emulate, it's getting harder and harder now if you were any type of Sega Genesis fan to not buy the mini because they're loading it up. I mean, I really think it made it almost an insta-buy for any Sega fan when they put the Mega Man game on there, which was only part of the Sega Net.
Yeah, the Wily Wars game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. Now, this is $80, though. That's what the big pull away for me is. If it was $40, then that would probably be a near insta-buy. Because I don't own any Sega shit, except for the Dream. I guess I do. I own Dreamcast. I'm sorry.
But that price point is within check because you're in the 16-bit era, and the SNES.
I know the
Mini,
SNES was. You still can get NES minis from Nintendo's website refurbished.
How would you refurbish it?
Spawn Wave taught me this one.
But how would you get? How is it refurbished?
I don't know.
Unless they just clean the controllers. I mean, it's all solid state inside.
I know.
Just
but you could buy
Magic
they're
Eraser.
$50. They're $50 on their website.
Wow.
That's something I would love to find in the wild.
What, NES Mini?
Yeah, an NES Mini. I would love to get one of them.
Again, I have no desire for.
Well, only because I would, after watching ETA Prime, I would hack the living shit out of it and add like every game.
I was thinking about doing that with eventually, because the PlayStation classics are going down to probably $10 soon.
They'll be paying you to take them pretty fast.
That I thought about that, but again, you run into the issue that they don't freaking come with a DualShock. So it's like, even at $10 to load it up with a thumb drive full of PlayStation games, is it really still worth it to not have a DualShock?
Yeah. What they should have done there is let you use whatever PS controllers you have.
Yes.
From your collection.
Yes.
I have a PS3 controller that I could easily just plug in.
Mm-hmm.
Or one of my PS4 ones.
Just any old PlayStation controller that has the standard setting on it.
Yeah.
Boy, she left you hanging with that high five.
She did.
Wow. That was cold.
You left me hanging on that. I put up for a high five, and you just gave me the pipe there. It was pretty bad. So, oh man, I had another topic to bring up. We were talking about Sega was it? Okay, all right. I'm not getting that old. What else did we? I know we said some other shit before we started the show. We were going to talk.
We went off topic before we even got on topic. So.
Yeah. Probably. Can you see her?
I could see her. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell her she'll be on.
I could blur the background if you want.
She'll be on YouTube later. She's actually right on the.
I don't know if I could do that on the Windows port. I don't know.
I didn't even know you could do that. Period. Till you did that one day.
Yeah, I gotta see how I did that. I don't remember how I did that. Open conversation, more options. Turn off incoming video. No, I can't actually. Oh well, you're in the shot there. So, yeah. The Genesis Mini. My only drawback is that there's two things about it. Pat said one, but I have a personal one.
Okay.
6-button controller. Gotta have that.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. You gotta have that. I know very little about Sega, but I know you need a goddamn 6-button. The other thing is like every other Sega Genesis Mini, or anything Sega Mini that came out over the years, had a cartridge slot. Why don't they have that on there?
I don't know.
That needs that.
I know they said that about the SNES Mini.
Put a cartridge.
Why couldn't they do that?
People.
The only thing I could think of, and I will defend them on this, is if you put an actual cartridge slot on there to play actual carts, you're going to need either something like a Retron 5 type system where it rips the ROM and then plays it, or actually have a condensed version of an actual Sega Genesis in there. Either one of those options is probably going to up the price probably by about $40.
Yeah, but I mean, that would be the all-in-one stop for the non-Sega Genesis owning person.
That is true, and I will counter that argument with a $35 Raspberry Pi and a $10 16 gigabyte SD card.
I get that, and trust me, I'm on your side about that shit. I don't even need. I beta stereo. I have every game that ever was on.
I mean, you could look at it either way.
Not for us. This isn't for us.
I know it's not for us, but I think people. I mean, besides the game lineup, I mean, people flip their shit over $100 PlayStation Classic. And I thought that was way too much. That if Sega,
it was, by the way.
I know it was. But if Sega came out with $120, Genesis Mini and said, oh, you could put your cartridges in it, I still see that as a hard sell, because anybody who has a large enough Sega Genesis collection that they want the slot in there already has at least one Sega Genesis in their collection.
I do understand that, but this is also like this is a cheaper alternative for people to have an HDMI Sega Genesis too.
Okay, I will buy that.
Yeah.
Yep, I will buy that.
If it had a cartridge slot, now you have every game in your collection.
Mm-hmm.
Upscaled to 1080p or 720p or whatever it's going to be. I don't think they actually have that on there yet.
No, I'll buy into that. I'll agree with that.
Yeah. Some games are offered. Oh, yeah. And here's one thing. I went to the Wikipedia page to look at the list of games quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're different by region.
Really?
Yeah, they're different by region. Like Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, I've never played an Alex Kidd game in my life anyway. But that's only available in the North American version. As where Alien Soldiers, not available in North America or Japan, but it is in the rest of Asia, and so on and so forth. But like Castlevania Bloodlines is available in all three, but that had three different names. Or two different names. It was like Vampire's Kiss in one region, and it was Bloodlines in another, and I think in the rest of Asia it had like some shit taken out of it. Like the Japanese version was actually less bloody. But like we're getting Earthworm Jim and nobody else is.
I think that's a first, because I don't think Nintendo did that or Sony did that. I think it was
the NES Mini had different games depending on the region you got it in. There was a lot of games in Japan that were obviously more popular.
Oh yeah.
I
thought it was still pretty much the same lineup. I did not know that.
We didn't get, and I don't even know what some of these games are. It's like in the United States, we didn't get like Solomon's Key or Final Fantasy III, which was the actual 3, by the way.
Yeah.
River City Ransom, which was an underrated classic, which nobody knows about. And different versions of it, like the NES Open Golf game, which I don't understand why they got that, but whatever. I think we got some of the standards.
Yeah.
That are required. But like, yeah, by region, it's a little different everywhere. Like We didn't get Star Tropics on there, or did we? Hold on, am I looking at the wrong column? Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong column. Yeah, we did. We got Star Tropics, which is another underrated game, but other regions didn't.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah. I don't think the SNES Mini had any differences though, and not that I actually care because I don't. Is this the okay? Because there's two SNES Minis. Yeah, it's even different in this one too, because we got like Earthbound and Kirby's Dream Course and Super Castlevania 4 and such, but Japan didn't get that. They got Legend of the Mystical Ninja, which is another criminally underrated game. Ooh. There's a game. You know what I want? What I want to get out of the SNES Mini is play Star Fox 2.
Yeah.
The actual completed version. I've played all the ROM hacks and everything that they had out. You know what I mean? Or the complete version.
I have a hard time believing no one's dumped that yet, though.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
I'll be digging for that.
From the SNES Mini. I have a hard time believing that.
I'll just go to ETA Prime's probably got it on a fucking website for you to download.
Oh, I miss EMU Paradise.
Oh, I do too. I miss a lot of things. So we were talking. I texted you today, and while we're feeling nostalgic and old.
Yeah.
Because I feel old every day. Because when you get up out of bed and you hear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's my knees.
Yeah. It's usually my shoulders or my back. I said, do you ever have? I sent you this like a question. Did you ever hear music from a video game that brought you back to that point? So. I think I was on YouTube, which is not surprising if you've watched any episode of anything I've ever been on. Because YouTube and I have a problem. More like I have a problem. And I said, I heard a song from the original Mega Man. And I was like, immediately thought about the weekend that Chris and I rented it. And I was watching my aunt's, or my grandfather's house at the time. He was out of town and asked me to stay there for the weekend. So me and him were there playing NES on my grandfather's like 32-inch tube TV, which was like cool at the time.
Huge at the time, yeah.
Yeah, that was huge at the time. And 32-inch tube, and it wasn't a console one. It was just a unit. That was big deal. And I remember playing that all weekend and not beating it. Just let me go back in time there.
Yeah.
Tell you.
Hence the term Mega Man Hard.
Yeah, that's where the term Mega Man Hard came from, folks. If you really want to hate yourself, pick up any of the 6,000 Mega Man games that exist and just ruin your life.
Yeah.
It's easy. If you want to beat one, play 2. If you really want to ruin your life, play the first one.
Or 9.
9 wasn't terrible. 10 was easier than 9. I must admit, 9 was tough.
9, I almost snapped a PlayStation 3 controller in half, and that was just on the demo.
Yeah. I want to Mega Man 11 or whatever that is. But I was frustrated with the demo. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I was the same thing, and then I kept having to remind myself this is a Switch, because I had it in portable mode. Yeah. I throw this, it's the whole system. Don't throw this, don't throw that. You
ever do any amiibos with your Switch?
No, we have 2 amiibos that we got with the Wii U, but I don't think we've ever used them in an amiibo with the Switch.
We tried it today with Smash Brothers Ultimate, because Megan has a link from, it's a Link amiibo from, not Ocarina. Oh, it's from Ocarina of Time. Young Link from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, we used that with Smash Brothers, it's not Brawl, whatever one was on the Wii U.
For the Wii U?
I think it was called Smash Brothers Wii U.
Yeah,
we used it on there, yeah.
So, yeah, and it's neat because you can actually set it up for, not that we're like way off topic at this point, but you just, you obviously do whatever you got to do with the controller, put it on there, and Nintendo's a little way to make you spend money. But it becomes a fighter that levels up as time goes on. Not that you use them, though, which I found weird.
And see, for the Wii U version, actually, we have more than that. I forgot he had Bowser and Charizard. You can put it on there, and it will unlock different colors, is what it basically did for the characters. So, nothing super fantastic. But.
No. That's not Nintendo's way, though. They don't do, like... I really want to buy those NFC cards. You ever see those things?
Mm-hmm.
I'd really like to buy a set of them. That's all like the ones for Breath of the Wild I wanted to get, actually, but because you can buy them on like Etsy for like $10. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they're giving them away. So,
well, do you remember when they first came out? Which I took one bite once and I thought I was going to vomit. When they came out with the Mario cereal this 2 years ago.
Oh yeah,
and it had the little amiibo thing built into the box.
Oh no, I was going back to the one from the 80s.
Oh no, the 80s one was good. That was half Mario, half Link.
Yeah.
No, this was like some toxic berry concoction. I bought it just because for Mario Odyssey that it had the amiibo sticker, which is basically an RFID tag built into the box. Mm-hmm. And it gave you stuff in game. And Jack wanted the cereal. I'm like, okay, I'll buy you the cereal. I want to try the box. And the stuff not only smelled almost like vomit. I took a bite and I'm like, that is the worst cereal. I would rather eat plain Rice Krispies than eat that.
Oh,
yeah, it was that bad.
I know. If you want to get worse than plain Rice Krispies, it's plain shredded wheat.
I actually like that.
I used to like that as a kid. Remember they used to come in the big chunks?
Yep.
Anyway, my grandfather had them every day. He also drank a can of Stroh's for breakfast, but the time goes on.
When I was in the hospital in December, I was hungry the first night, and they're like, did they serve you dinner? I said, no, I was down in the ER. It's like, okay, well, you could have a snack. What would you like? I said, well, what do you have? It's like, well, we have ice cream, we have cookies, we have cereal. I'm like, oh, I would love some cereal. I said, what kind do you have? And she's naming off. I said, oh, I'd love some Cheerios. And me not thinking, me growing up, Cheerios was always Honey Nut Cheerios. And, of course, I got plain Cheerios, to which I'm like, oh.
Yeah, immediate depression.
Yeah, it's like, that's not the Cheerios I grew up with. To me, that's not Cheerios. That's Cheerios, but Honey Nut Cheerios are Cheerios.
Yeah, Cheerios. I was on a regular Cheerios run for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Plain. No, I wouldn't add any sugar. Because milk is pretty bad for you if you read it. Milk is truly bad for you.
Well, no, not entirely.
It's the sugar in it that's bad.
Sugar is bad well, let's back the train up here. I'm a big believer nothing is bad for you in moderation. It's when you go in excess of things. I mean, wings every 6 months is not bad. Wings every day will put you in an early grave. Same thing. You drink a quart of milk a day versus a cup a day, it's bad for you.
Yeah. Well, somebody like me who watches my sugar, for health concerns, I never really thought milk is a sugary thing until I learned that it was.
Oh, it's very much late, but it's a good kind of sugar. It's a natural sugar. It's not a processed sugar.
You're right. But then I thought to myself, boy, I really like pineapple. And then I find out that pineapple is all fucking sugar too. You learn not.
And you're coming into watermelon season now, which is just.
I know. I'm gonna miss that this year and forever.
Bananas.
It is in moderation. Since I learned I had a sugar problem, I've come to just give up a lot of things that I love. Do you know what I mean? Like pineapple, I love watermelon, I love milk. I don't drink it by the glass anymore. I used to have a glass of milk every day. I used to have a glass of orange juice every day. Don't have any of that anymore. On the other hand, I drink a lot more water and piss all the time. But, there you go. We'll get, all right. When we get done with this topic, which isn't actually a topic, I gotta say, I still have to find an SNES in the wild. A regular one, not a mini. Because remember mine broke?
What do you mean in the wild?
Like somewhere.
I mean, you could go downtown and buy one tomorrow.
I know. Wonder how much he wants for one.
I don't know. But I'm saying, like, if you're talking in the wild, like flea market or Goodwill or Salvation Army, good luck. But if you go to, I could tell you right now, you could go to the guy downtown. You can go to the asshole across the river, and they have SNESs.
I know. I just look down at mine right here, and I'm like, you're dead.
You son of a bitch.
It was there for me for a lot of years.
Did you ever figure out what was wrong with it?
It's not getting... I think it's something internal, to tell you the truth. Because it gets power, but it does... And I tried every game I own on it. It's not getting any signal to the TV. And I tried multiple cables.
Okay.
I have 2 or 3 sets for it. And I even tried the RF connection just to...
Ooh.
Triple back. Yeah. Hi.
So I bet you your connector just might have blown. possibly,
Yeah.
or the video section of the board. Do you get sound or no?
Get nothing.
That's actually a good sign. If you don't get sound, that means nothing's getting through, because the sound processor and the video processor are separate.
Okay.
But
I'm going to try it again. I'm going to open it up and clean it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that yet. I haven't got that far with it yet. I don't want to open it up and modify it to play games from any region.
Mm-hmm.
I've been meaning to do that for like 30 years.
But you don't need to open it up. You just need to break off the 2 tabs.
I know, but if I'm going to open it up, I might as well do it right then and there.
You can just do what the paraneedle knows.
True.
Right through the slot. Just snap, snap, and there you're region free.
Yeah. Pick that up. That's what you have to do as parents. Tell children all the time. Do this, do that.
Because I did that with my SNES. I did the region free, not my NES. My NES, I did the region free mod. That you just clip the one leg on the I forget the chip is. It's basically a copy protection chip.
The NES 101 chip.
The 101. And I did that. And just because I had it open when I replaced the 72
or the 10 NES. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I just realized I was wrong.
Yeah, when I replaced the 72-pin connector, I was there. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well just mod this and clip. And the nice thing is, whenever your cartridge is dirty now, you don't get the flashing white screen. It's just a single white screen, so you're not going into seizure mode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's a bonus, you know.
Yeah. Thank God that doesn't happen anymore. All right, what else we got? Yeah, I'll replace my SNES. That's going to... I still haven't found a power cord for my PS2 Slim. I got to get down to that problem next.
They're pretty universal. You could... because that's just the 2 circles, right? I don't think it's a square and a circle.
No, let me grab it. I got it right here. No, it's just a circle.
Yeah, you should be able to go to Best Buy. They sell generic ones.
8.5 volt.
Doesn't matter.
No, I know that.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I have everybody in my family. They come to me with wires. That's how I got that wire. That 30-pin wire for. I might have 2 more for you too. They come in with the wires. Do you need any of this? So of course, every time I see a power cable, I pull it out and I look at it, and I can never remember what the fucking voltage is on that. So I just take it, and now I have a box of them.
Well, I'm not going to treat you dumb, but the power cord, the wire, has nothing to do with the voltage.
No, I understand that, but I'm trying to match it up.
The only time you have to match up voltage is when you use an AC adapter.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
I need an AC adapter for it.
But the Slim doesn't take an AC adapter. It's a regular power cord. An adapter is where you have the big box at the end. Yes, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is if you... Okay, I think I see what you're saying. You're just looking at generic adapters.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
so I'm thinking you're getting these PlayStation adapters and you keep looking. I'm like, no, if it's PlayStation,
no, I'm getting anything.
You meant generic.
Okay.
I thought you kept meaning you're getting PS2 Slim adapters and you're matching. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. It's the same voltage. Okay.
Every time I get one.
Now I get it.
And then the other day it came in handy because my aunt found an old, police scanner.
Yeah.
Video scanner, from the 80s. I didn't even think they still fucking sold them things anymore.
I used to love mine.
Huh?
I used to love mine.
I used to I listened to the app. You could get an app for that.
I used to have my grandfather's. It was programmable. So you could program in the different stations, the different ambulance ones, the weather, and you could just have it cycle. And I used to when I was bored in my room in school, I would just hit it cycle and listen to everything. And, because I was a geek and a nerd. And
I love doing that. I love listening to yes. Are you putting that stuff on my arm? Oh, okay. This is what I like. I get slathered when I'm not looking.
The hell are you getting slathered with?
Oh, I get a thing on my elbow when it starts to get warm out.
Oh.
So Kelly puts this shit on it. She used to do it to me when I was sleeping.
It's Desitin.
It's Desitin.
Desitin.
Works well for a lot of shit.
That's ass cream right there.
Yeah. So. After many days of trying to get old school shooters working, I think I finally got it. We talked this a little bit before the show, but we're trying to get Heretic to work.
Yes.
In a deathmatch environment, Doom 2, Doom Classic, and Hexen, which I got them all to work through one of them. If you're using GZ Doom and I just created a batch file that created the host and alternate deathmatch and all that. So we would have to make one for you, or the opposite, doesn't matter, but one for that just gives the IP address to connect to. That's it. So, but yeah, I've sitting here for days. I want to try that Quake Champions Doom Edition. I thought that would be a lot of fun for me and you. I can't figure out how to get that to work yet.
Yeah, you threw me for a loop when you said you found that program, and then I downloaded and I saw it was an EXE. I'm like, damn it, I got to boot into Windows, and I'm just too lazy to do that on my Mac. I'm like, I'll do it another day.
I didn't even. Yeah. Oh, good catch. Yeah, I didn't even. You know what? Here's one of the things I thought about that program when I did it with any kind of PWAD file.
Yeah.
PWAD file. Thank you. Whatever that was. Thank you.
It's your Michael Jackson hat.
It didn't. It didn't load it into deathmatch state. Like when I did because I used a PK3, I'm thinking that might be the issue, that it's throwing it off. So I'm going to try something else after we're done here.
Yeah, after you told me you start playing Brutal Heretic, you got me started into that. And
I finally beat it this week.
Flew through the first episode. I'm almost done with the second episode, but I haven't touched it, and actually at all this week.
Yeah, through all the episodes I played that, I made sure I went through every level and killed every enemy within reason, of course.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to go. You want to go to the next level. Because I would play like 1 or 2 levels and then save it and stop and walk away, and I did that for days. But in that Brutal Heretic, you have to gain levels to get the alternate attacks.
Yes.
For your weapons. Well, no episode until the 5th episode gave me enough levels to get them all. Till the 5th episode, and I was almost on the last. I was right before the final boss fight. I finally got level 15 or 16 to get the fire mace, alternate fire. I was like, what a joke.
Well, the worst part is, I love Brutal Heretic, but you start off and you're only able to get 80% health, and you have to gain your levels
you have to level up. To get there.
To get to the higher.
That's
health.
why I'm thinking that we don't play it deathmatch style in that, because I think
you're
nerfing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think classic would be just a lot better, but that's just me. So, but that's in a couple weeks for you.
Couple of weeks, yeah. I need at least 3 more weeks to be in my summer cruise mode. I'm almost there.
There you go.
I got another 2 weeks at the cemetery to get into cruise mode, get the farm cut, and then
you're good to go.
Cruise mode.
Yeah.
All I gotta do is one cut a week down there, and I'm done. So
then it's Rise of the Triad deathmatch.
Yes.
Classic Rise of the Triad, by the way.
Oh. I don't know. Does the new Rise of the Triad have deathmatch?
If you wanted to, if I wanted to play it on Steam, yeah, but I don't have.
Oh, that's right.
I don't have a version that does that. So. I don't actually know if it. I'd imagine it doesn't. It does. I'm sorry, Rise of the Triad. Yeah, it definitely does. I know it does.
I wonder, because we have the Duke Anniversary Collection on Steam. I wonder if that has network. Because you have that on Steam, don't you?
No, I have that on. No, I don't even have Steam.
Oh, you don't have Steam? Oh, you.
No, I have I have it on the PS4.
Oh, okay. I thought you had it on Steam.
No, I don't even have a Steam account.
Really? I love Steam.
I know a lot of people do. What was that about the PS4 and Xbox crossplay? Something came out this week on that.
Ironically, I don't think it had anything to do with PlayStation. Sony announced with Xbox, with Microsoft actually, not even Xbox, that they're going to partner up to try to do more collaborative online play efforts. And apparently they never included the PlayStation division in those talks. So the PlayStation division was taken aback by the news.
Well, sometimes you find out later.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. PS4 owners can now play online with Xbox One, Switch, PC, and mobile players, starting with fucking Fortnite. Christ almighty, is that still a thing?
Apparently.
What was the other one? PUBG?
It was PUBG. There was, it was, everyone kept calling it Titanfall 3. Because my son was looking forward to it, and he downloaded Apex Legends.
Oh, okay.
He downloaded it, and I think he uninstalled it within an hour. He goes, Dad, this sucks. I'm like, well, it was free to play, so it didn't cost me anything.
Yeah, and I like that stuff.
Unlike Fallout 76, which I paid $60 for, and he goes, Dad, this sucks. I'm like, yeah, I agree.
Did he ever play it again?
Yeah, he started playing it for a while after they did a couple patches, but he's big into Ark right now.
Yeah, there's this list on, we'll go back to what we were talking about, where it's cross-platform play.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not many that fill up every block here on this. Well, even have some ones that are still playing on PS3. Is that still a thing?
I still want cross-platform on MK11 for us.
God, that would be great.
It would be.
So, that'd be great.
I know.
Be nice to whip you. I haven't played that in a week.
I haven't played that. Well, I should say I haven't played single player just by myself in probably. Since actually, I haven't played that since the beginning of May.
Wow.
Jack and I every once in a while will play through. I played the story mode hard. I beat it with the first 3 rows of characters, and then I got busy at work. And that's the last thing on my mind now.
Yeah, I was doing towers and doing story elements. I finished the story and everything, and kind of that's where I stopped after the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I started playing the towers like pretty religiously. Like I play like an hour a day or half an hour a day or whatever I could, complete 1 or 2. But the problem with the towers is they're timed. So if you have one that's not 24 hours,
yeah,
you're fucked. You know? So you got to try to sit down and beat a whole chunk of them. But then you need stupid shit like 50 throws or, 40 fatal blows or whatever. And that's where it stops. That's where I stop.
And they still haven't patched the Switch version yet with all the goodies.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure because Jack and I just played some verses Monday, I think it was. And although he used his profile. So I don't know, maybe he got it and I just haven't, because I haven't logged into my profile in a while.
Yeah. Nintendo Switch, here's Ed Boon on Twitter. What's the fucking date on this? Oh, well. This is from May 7th.
Yeah. Let's see, May 7th, that was, 9 days after launch.
Warcraft 11 patch release for Nintendo Switch and PC offers numerous fixes and additional shadow optimizations. This isn't the one that fixes that, though. This is post-release. Whatever.
No big deal.
Yeah. There's nothing really... It's odd. You type that up, and then there's no new articles on it. MK11 patch. No fucking new articles. Everything's from May 8th, May 7th. May the force be with you, We have to start bringing topics to this show.
I don't know. Sometimes I like these freeform shows.
You're right. You're right. I do enjoy them.
We've had some pretty good conversations so far.
Yeah, I got to admit. I got to get parts for... I got to do that, too. I got so much fucking shit to do with this shelf that I just put off. It's like...
And you're starting a new job next week.
Yeah, I'll be starting on Wednesday. Yeah, back in the grind of being an adult. It was nice being off for 29 days.
And this sucks because we always say, I wish we can get together. Like we were both off, not having anything. And I know not your fault that, your situation, but it's like you just happen to be off of work at the same time my busiest time of the year is.
Yeah, and that describes friendships over 40.
Yeah, it really does.
Like, you don't even have to say anything else. Yeah. Like,
mean, I'm waking up, taking the kids to school, going to work, picking them up, making dinner, going back to work till dark. And it's like, all the while I'm like, damn, why couldn't we get together and play a game? I'm like, fuck, responsibility.
I know. Responsibility sucks.
It does.
But to be fair, no, it sucks.
No, it does suck.
It just sucks.
It does suck.
Yeah. So. Oh, God.
I think.
All right. What else?
I think we're about tapped out. Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're mumbling.
We are mumbling, and
yeah.
we can't turn this. This is usually what we start turning into the YouTube show. We gotta just
cut it down.
Pull up.
No, at that point, it's just put stick forward, crash it into the wall.
Just put it
there
down.
you go.
Put it down.
You should have played that, and it burns. It burns. That's the most horrible sound effect that's still awesome to this day. I don't care what anybody says.
And I'm so pissed. Since I bought that, I have not had a chance to really sit down with it.
Oh, I know.
That first night I played it for about 45 minutes, and the best thing is we were in line at McDonald's in the drive-thru line, and my daughter goes, "Dad, you play a lot of video games all day." I said, "No, I don't." "Yeah, you have a lot of video games and you play them all the time." And you had texted me today, like, because I told you I was working all morning because of the half day and I couldn't get a lot done. You're like, "Well, at least you could play some games later, hopefully." And I'm like, I love how everyone thinks that I play all these video games when I maybe get an hour every week if I'm lucky to load up a game.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I know.
That just says you're so over 40. It's just you have so many different responsibilities that because you own so many games, people think you're constantly playing them. And it's just like, these just adorn my shelf right now as a reminder of back in the day when I had little responsibility and I was able to sit down and play for 2-3 hours at a time.
Like, I remember living here by myself, 4 kids. And I had a whole year by myself.
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
It was. Yeah. We're just going to say yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it'd be like I would get up on a Saturday, especially in the winter, be in my underwear, drinking a beer, playing the Dreamcast, because it was, it was that age. It was still around that time, It's like 2001, 2000. Playing fucking whatever. I remember playing Shenmue and not understanding it. And then, but I'd be playing like Street Fighter 3 Third Impact or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking sixer or fucking Coors Light on my lap, essentially. God, that was nice. And that's like 8 in the morning, They were good times. Good times.
That is like the definition of bachelor right there.
Yeah, it was. It was. I remember I had no furniture. I had a futon and the entertainment thing for the TV. That's all I had. I had a mini fridge. I didn't even have a bed. I just put the futon down, rolled over, went to bed. That's all I had. I had towels, for the bathroom, obviously, but that was it.
Good times.
Good times. All right, so we're going to do some YouTube of the week so we don't turn this into a YouTube show. All right, well, I know I talk about this guy from time to time, and I don't know if I'll need to send you the link, but I think I will when we're done. It's Maximilian Dude. You ever watch this guy's channel?
No.
Okay, this guy is daily fighting game videos. It's every day. This guy puts something out. He does MK11 online. He does a lot of games online, mind you. But this guy is actually pretty cool because he works close with certain developers, and he's one of these guys who does preview copies and all that shit.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, I wish we were that, by the way. We have to learn how to do that. You need people for that. And not pro Jared's people either.
Ooh,
it hurts. It hurts.
Too soon? No.
Too soon? No.
No.
This show. It wasn't even like 4 hours later on our old show. Anyway, but right now he's doing like daily MK11 videos, and he's trying to figure out how to do brutality. He's doing stuff that me and you would do ourselves.
Yeah.
But this guy's like a low level pro. He's really good at his games. But he only does fighting games. He does some other stuff once in a while. But his other channel, Yo Video Games or something, I don't know. He does a channel with a couple other guys where they Twitch stream at night, which that's apparently a way to make money.
I looked into that and I tried it for about 2 weeks, and yeah, I'm not. I don't mean to put any streamers down. I'm not enough of an asshole. Because you have to be animated and make things interesting, and it's like I want to play my game. I'm not talking to anybody. It's like, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
That's why we should have done one.
Yes.
Couch
co-op streaming it.
Yeah, that could be the name of the show. Couch co-op.
There you go.
Coming soon to over 40 pockets. But Maximilian Dude is a great channel. If you like anything fighting games, this is a great channel to watch.
Does he do only current fighting games, or does he go?
No, he'll do old shit too.
Nice.
He will. He's doing. He focuses on the newer stuff when it's new.
Yeah.
MK11 but he'll also go back and play he'll play MK9. He'll jump on Street Fighter 3 once in a while. You'll see videos like all the time from the guy. it's neat. He did like a set of videos for the story of MK11, but then you see stuff for Street Fighter 3. He did the whole Mortal Kombat Legacy from 1 to now.
Oh, wow.
You know, not they weren't every day. I think they were once a week, but
I'll have to check that out. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. He's got some neat stuff. You have to get past his attitude a little bit. He's a little tough to chew sometimes. This is the guy I always tell you, like, when I'm happy to see a guy lose.
Oh,
okay. He wins too much, but he does get losses. I've seen more losses lately, so I'm happy to see that. But then again, why would you want to have a channel where you're getting your ass kicked every time? I kind of put the shit together in my head. But Max is a good channel. Like I said, I've been following him since about when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 got re-released on the PS3 years ago. Yeah. Remember that? That's about when I started watching this channel. Ish. So. And I'm done, by the way.
Cool. This week I'm not doing a channel. I'm doing a single video because the video made my week. Actually dropped yesterday. I know we touched on this earlier, which it actually took me way too long to put 2 and 2 together. But yesterday was the 25th anniversary of the last episode of Next Generation, and CBS released the trailer for the newest Star Trek series, Star Trek
This
Picard.
wasn't my guess, by the way.
I figured that would be your guess. So
no,
they released the teaser trailer for the new Picard series, and it hits you in the feels if you're a Star Trek fan, especially at the end where they play the little Star Trek overture and you hear it with a flute and possibly a little Resican flute in the background, a la the Inner Lights. So that this is something I'm looking forward to. Unlike a lot of diehard Star Trek fans, I actually like Star Trek Discovery. It took a while for it to grow on me, but I really enjoy it. But to bring back Captain Picard, I mean, yes, they can completely screw this up. They can completely just make a clusterfuck out of it. But I'm hoping somewhere along the lines, the fact that Patrick Stewart had to be convinced to do it, that, you know, it wasn't him coming to them going, I want a Picard series. They actually had to talk him into it. And the only reason he did it was because he read the storyline, liked it, and then contributed to the storyline for the series. So he's got a say in where this is going. So... And then they released, it was a few days before then, CBS did what they call their upfronts, where they, you know, showcase what series are coming up. And there was actually 2 screen captures from the show. And you got to look at, everyone's thinking it's a cadet uniform, but it's kind of a mix of the new and the old uniform from the Voyager DS9 days with the Next Generation flair. So very cool. Looking forward to it. Coming out in December, I believe. Thing that sucks, though, is unless you know a guy who knows a guy, you have to pay for it with the CBS streaming series, which is like, or service, which is like $9 a month. But if you know a guy who knows a guy, that guy can get you the episodes.
I know some people.
Yeah.
I know a couple of on the down low.
Exactly.
Types.
Good
night, guys.
There are ways around things.
There are.
And that's well, we'll leave it at that.
Yes, that's a terrible thing.
Yes.
But that does look good.
It does.
And you know what I mean? It does. Now, the first episode will set the tone of the whole show. I really believe that.
Yeah, I could see that. What I'm curious about, and this is, again, me geeking out, is in the trailer they say, you know, 15 years ago you led the greatest rescue mission ever. And this is in real time. So 15 years ago was after Nemesis. So we don't know what that rescue mission is.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Is that going to be something they write in?
It is, because supposedly, from what I've read of stuff actually leaked from Patrick Stewart himself, is it takes place in the year 2399. It's the last year of the 24th century, which actually puts it in real time. They're making this exactly how long it would be from Nemesis, from the last time we saw Picard.
Man, could you imagine the party? Anyway, go ahead anyway.
And it's supposed to deal also with the destruction of Romulus, which happened in Star Trek 2009 in the J.J. Abrams universe, and before that created the Kelvin timeline. So all that's coming together, which if you do 2009 to 2019, that's only 10 years, where they said 15 years ago he led a rescue mission. So obviously it's something in between Nemesis and the destruction of Romulus. So, but that's going to be interesting. And I mean, the one nice thing is we find out he finally made Admiral. So he never, and then after the mission, he left Starfleet. So this is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a lot of filling in a lot of backstory. That is going to be nice. I know so far they said that they have not confirmed any next gen actors will make a guest spot appearance, but I'm hoping they will.
Yeah.
And I've gone on way too
long about this. I don't think Brett Spiner will.
No. I could definitely see some of the other actors doing it, though.
I could definitely see Michael Dorn.
I could see Michael Dorn. I could see Jonathan Frakes, Marina Sirtis. Be great if they brought back Q.
Would.
That'd be fun.
He does. He's got a bright future in My Little Pony, though. So, whatever there.
I don't know who likes My Little Pony more, you or my daughter.
I don't actually tell you the truth. That was one of the only reasons I watched that, because he was the voice of a character on it, and a lot of people watched it for that reason. And the kids watched it all the time, and they don't watch it anymore, to tell you the truth. Mm-hmm. But every time you bring up Q, I go right to the My Little Pony reference. I don't know why. That's all I got. He was on Breaking Bad too, and he was on other stuff. But
and that's it.
That is it.
That is it.
Like, subscribe, sponsor 40somethingpodcast.com.
Yep. Twitter at 40something show. We don't have a Facebook. I don't plan on doing a Facebook
because it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
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 That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
2 weeks looks like it's going to happen. So I don't see. Well, we might have a slight issue with 2 weeks. So it may be 3 weeks before next episode. Depends on the weather, because I'll be on a camping trip in 2 weeks on Saturday. And depending on your hours on your new job, you may not be able to make a Friday night.
Yeah.
So
we'll figure it out.
Or we could do it a Sunday night. Although you have to go to bed early.
Yeah.
So
I'm an old man.
We'll figure it out.
I'm way past my bedtime as it is now.
So we'll see you. We'll say 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Ish.
All
right, shut this down.
Shut it down. Kill it.
All right.
Kill it with fire.
Kill it with fire.